For day 21 of the Murphy Challenge, we want to talk about making your intermittent fasting attempts and efforts the best that they could possibly be, and why it's a good idea if fat loss is your goal to try to combine this workout along with a little bit of fasting at the same time. But in the morning time, I do my morning cardio, and I do it in a fasted state. And one of the things you may wonder is, why am I so into working out in a fasted state? I don't do long fasts. I'm doing intermittent fasting, 18 to 20 hours a day. But I work out in a fasted state in the morning time with my cardio, which I'm about to do. And then I also work, and I'm still haven't eaten in between my cardio in the morning and my calisthenics or the Murph Challenge at night, which includes the 1 mile run, the pull-ups, push-ups, and squats, and then the 1 mile run afterwards. I'm trying to invoke more fat utilization for energy. And also I'm trying to spike my human growth hormone as well as my testosterone levels, and really trying to get into a deep ketosis state. So first of all, let's review what fasting does. And then after that, we want to come back and begin to examine what's really the big hubbub and big deal about trying to work out fasted. Because you would think that without having food in your system, your workouts would suffer. Quite the opposite. Couple of things to keep in mind when you're fasting in the first place. The idea is to not have any calories or anything that would spike your insulin. That'll take you out of your fasted state. Now, one concern has always been people are concerned about muscle loss while fasting. Well, the truth is your growth hormone levels are escalated during fasting. So it's going to prevent any kind of muscle loss. So fasting and eating, here's the difference. With fasting, you're allowed to drink water, black tea, black coffee. Avoid artificial and zero-calorie sweeteners. Of course, no cream whatsoever. Now, when you begin to eat, the ideal situation is to have whole foods, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats like avocados, but avoid processed foods, animal meat, and dairy. Right now, it's been about 18 to nearly 19 hours since I've had my last meal from last night, and I'm in the fat burning stage. Now, that stage is typically between, let's say, 18 to 24 hours, which is typically when I do my workout, because I'm most interested in burning fat during that stage, and it puts you in a significant ketosis stage. We've gone over intermittent fasting in previous days in the earlier part of this challenge, but here's a quick reminder on why I'm doing what I'm doing. Here are some of the effects of intermittent fasting on the body and the brain that may thwart obesity and chronic diseases. For the brain, improve cognitive function, increase neurotropic factors, increase stress resistance, reduced inflammation. In your blood, decreased insulin, IGF-1, and leptin, increased ketones. In your heart, reduced resting heart rate, reduced blood pressure, increased stress resistance. Fat cells in your body, lipolysis, reduced leptin, reduced inflammation. For your liver, increased insulin sensitivity, ketone body production, and decreased IGF-1 levels. Intestines, reduced energy uptake, reduced inflammation, reduces cell proliferation. And for your muscles, increased insulin sensitivity, increased efficiency, reduced inflammation. Intermittent fasting, IF, promotes fat burning and the production of beneficial ketones. So far today, I've already clocked 11,933 steps. And this is in a fasted state because I did my cardio earlier. Now I'm getting ready to do this workout. Once again, I'm trying to double up on my effectiveness of my fasted breaking down of the fat in my body with exercise. I'm trying to double up on the effect of eating away at the fat in my body by the early morning cardio, as well as my evening workout with the weights. But what you'll find out when you really dig into how to burn fat in your body is, surprisingly, lifting heavy tends to burn fat a lot quicker than you think. It's not about doing a whole bunch of cardio. It's really about lifting heavy. And when you are fasting, you also want to do all that you can to enhance the effects of your fasting. There's 24-hour fasting where you do one meal a day. That's one thing. Then some people fast for 36 hours, 48, and that's even better. It gets better as you go along. But in my case, my day in and day out existence, I'm going to want to eat, particularly after I finish working out. But while I am fasting, I want to maximize the effect of the fasting. A couple of things to keep in mind when intermittent fasting and exercise: timing and intensity. Consider the intensity of your workouts and the time them correctly. Food, tip number 2. Break your fast with the right nutrition, not heavy foods, not pizzas, not processed foods, but whole foods. Tip number 3. Drink plenty of water. Make sure you're hydrated and drink even more water. Tip number 4. Try some supplements. You can introduce BCAAs, branch chain amino acids, to preserve the muscles after you break your fast. And of course, number 5, take care, listen to your body, and do not push yourself too hard. A good way to get something else out of this workout is to not be so concerned about how fast you go, but to take your time on each one of them. It begins to tax your muscles a lot more, and it feels more like a weightlifting routine than, let's say, an aerobic one. You're still going to breathe hard a little bit, but I can feel taxing my muscle a lot more when I'm taking my time. And I'm finding myself not pulling my arm as much and all that stuff when I slow down and try to do it slowly to get most of it for my muscles, because I'm not swinging on the bar so much, so I don't have a chance of pulling something like here or anywhere else. So I would recommend that as you're doing it, don't be so concentrated on doing it fast, but just power your way through it with the right technique so you can tax those muscles. You're going to get more out of it, because remember, it's really the weightlifting, it's the building of muscle that helps you to burn the fat quicker. Because when you have muscle, you burn fat at night when you sleep. So the more muscle you have, the more fat you'll burn while you're sleeping, along with, during the entire day. Now I got to go burn some more by getting on this treadmill. A fasting lifestyle is one that has shown a lot of benefits. And before you start big with something like a 36 or 24-hour fast, you may want to work your way up to it by simply, skipping breakfast and a late lunch, or skipping breakfast and lunch and just eating dinner. That's a good way to start it. And be sure you check with your doctor to make sure that if you're on any kind of medication, you won't cause any complications in your condition.